let's look at the countries that allow cryopreservation and their limits, because this was new to me too. Like there are countries
again,
with
in the
limits.
US we don't limit anything.
So who is allowing freezing? How long?
Yes.
What are the caveats? What are the little fine print with them?
So in Belgium, France, and Switzerland, you have a 5-year period that you're allowed to cryopreserve, but you can apply for extensions of 5 years.
Yes.
Except in, what was it, Switzerland? You only can do one extension. So your max is 10 years. So at 10 years, they're automatically going to be disposed of.
So we were saying that is like us and that's my personal situation currently with frozen embryos still. I'm coming up on the end of that 10-year mark, and that would be crazy. We found 2 countries that allow for 10 years of freezing, and those are New Zealand and Sweden, with the possibility for extension as well.
So interesting though, because it sounds like you have to like apply and they will determine yes or no whether you can, which that's a...
And I wonder what that criteria would even be.
And maybe they always do the extension, maybe it's just a formality, but I don't know, that makes me feel kind of like that they have the power to say yes or no on whether we get an extension on the life of our embryos.
Sure. Probably the most interesting one we found so far is Poland. They allow freezing for 20 years, followed by a compulsory donation / adoption. So after 20 years, if they are still frozen, they are given automatically given to donation and adoption. So that was...
Which we were talking about, it kind of makes sense because it's like, okay, if you do IVF at age, 30, you're going to be 25. 50, you'll probably be done with having kids, but it still just feels very like...
invasive of its...
The word compulsory just really caught me. Like, okay, that's like...
Right. One that is super interesting is the United Kingdom. Their limit is 55 years frozen with 10-year renewals allowed. So that one kind of just feels like we put a limit on it, but we'll just wait for you to die.
Yeah. But I'm like, I also get it because it's like, okay, I know that there have got to be people who will just pay that cryopreservation
their whole life
until they die. And this law allows them in the UK to then do away with them once someone would be deceased, because you can get that 10-year extension. So if you're still alive, you can still keep it going.
Right.
But at some point when you're not.
Because truly, like, I felt this way too. Like, you can be paralyzed with what to do with those.
Yeah.
Of like, I don't want to give these up for adoption, and I don't also want to dispose of them. So
and people would rather
just pay the money for the decision in their entire life. Yeah. So